Hey guys, it's Simon with Trade and Perform Coaching. I thought I needed a trade review tonight, so I'm going to go over it. Someone asked me how I get my trades on location and accurate. So every day when I get in the morning or I do it in the evening, and I post our trading levels. For example, this is today's NQ trading levels, pretty straightforward. And show you. So that is what today's levels look like. We basically bounced between value area low. The red line was a key line of support, not based off of profile. This is value area low. Target back up was the point of control. And we basically pivoted on hold all day as we waited for the trade to come in. So key location would have either been this 11,840 or 11,820 to 11,789. And really tonight where we'd want to get to, not sure if it's already gotten there, but this 11,789, I would expect a response from that if and when they can get down there. Okay, so you can see we gapped up into value area high after hours, and we ran down, bounced off the top of support, chop, chop, chop. And this is exactly why a level is hard to tell. How do you know if it's going to bounce a million points? How do you know if it's just going to bounce 5 points? So we've got a way to fix that. The way we do that is we use the TMP waves. Okay, so I'm going to show you, there's two versions of this, one off a smaller chart, one off a larger chart when we're trading. So we come in, the market opens, I'm going to guide you through how we would have made trade selections. So this is 8:30 in the morning, roughly. Okay, so with the way that we do, or we make trading decisions, let me go back and line up this other chart on the other that I have on the other screen. And we would have, wow, sorry that it's moving so fast. There we go. So the first indication for me that we were going to move higher, the earliest indication we have, this triggers right here, we'll color it differently. So that color red. So all that tells me is based on the TMP waves, is that right there, that is the first time that tells me that momentum has shifted to the upside. I now have an expectation that the market will move higher, and what I am waiting for is for the market to pull back. So a couple of things happen here. So first of all, there's multiple patterns here that I can't go through and describe step by step, but this has already gone supernova. So that means that in order for this pattern to fail, I need a close completely below. What I mean by that is a bar, not that closes like this or just closes underneath, but the entirety of the bar of the price, all within the bar that closes underneath, would have to be underneath that 11,041. And I'm expecting price to move higher. So the next thing that I am looking for is a trap. So there's several things I can look for. So in the room, many members look for, if we can get a pink bar with a triangle up, that becomes a 1.5 bar stop. So this was your first sign right here that you could get a lift, the pink bar. And Etta, I know for a fact, along with several other members, took that. So if you look at that trade alone, right, the trade lifted immediately, and it was worth at least 50 points. And obviously, that bar has about 15 to 20 points worth of risk, and you obviously got your one-to-one almost immediately. The next place you would have entered would have been, you could have trapped off of, so all our entries have to hit this lower channel. That's what this purple and blue line is. So hit it or be almost on it, right? So if you look, I wanted to stop this out right here. And you can see this almost stopped out, but it didn't. Again, it's the first half hour. And we had econ at 8:45, by the way. But the orange bars are entries, right? Orange bars with white signals. When you come in the room, it's not that hard. Like the basic concept is stop out one of these bars that has a TMP apex on it, which are these blue triangles. Get it to trade below and close back in. That's your trade. If it can't do that, there's alternatives for entry, like a triangle up on a pink bar that's not up here on the top of the channel, right? Or an apex trap. So really the only entry here, you could have taken the divergent bars, but this is right at 8:45. Almost no one was going to take it. This was at 839. This entry actually made sense. So then as you go to the right, market pushes all the way up. And at this point, we know we have econ coming up, 8:50 to 9 o'clock. No one really trades. And you can see that there's no side-by-side apex traps here. So you just wait. We come down, and now we flip back up. So some people are going to ask, well, did you take this trade down here? And the answer is no. This trade's too far away. There's no trade to take. But in the process of this going up, again, going to my smaller time frame, members in the room know what I'm talking about. Our first entry would be right over, I'm going to get it right here. Hold on a second. Let me make sure I got this right. How was this laid out? At 9:05. I see the problem here. 9:05. And my first entry would be after this point, which is at the peak, right? So it does not matter that you've already got a big extension. So again, members in the room are watching this, so this is an opportunity for me to coach them without being under time pressure, right? So now I know that for the near term, momentum is in my favor, right? So if you look, we come down, there's no entry. Actually, I'll take it back. You get a head and shoulders entry off the left. No, it doesn't stop out. It misses. I apologize. So no entry. Okay. We're just sitting there watching, right? But we're close because we know that we're looking for specific setups. So as we go to the right, so some members in the room will take these pink bars. I won't if they don't have a triangle on them. But this is my first apex trap. So if you're new to watching this, I haven't put out a video in quite a while. This gets stopped out, trap back in. My entry is specifically when this bar closes. There's an algo that tells us the exact price that it'll close at. The stop, just assume a 20-point stop. It's usually 15 to 18 points. Just assume a 20-point stop. Your entry would be at specifically 72 and a quarter. And you can see as it moves off to the right, that would take me from 72 and a quarter to 47. Now, that's about 80 points, right? 70 to 80 points on the rotation up, right? 70 to 9 and then 9 to 42. That's $1,400. This trade right here is literally, you had 20 points of defined risk, a specific area. We were triggered on our momentum indicator that we were going to get another leg up, and that was your entry right there. Your next entry, if you wanted one, again, this wasn't at the top of the channel, the pink bar with a triangle up. This is more of a scalp trade from this location, and that pushes up for another 20 points to the upside, right? And remember, so again, people in the room will know what this is. This trade's now a supernova. So all of this gets invalidated. Now our invalidation point moves on an orthodox close underneath there, right? So now as I'm moving to the right, again, you can see this is my next apex trap, right? Takes out this apex and this apex. This one was divergent, closes in. So my entry's on this bar, again, 20-point stop. That runs, I'm eyeballing it. Let's say it's 05 up to 40. So 35 points, $700 a contract. Or if you entered on the pink bar, you have the rip to the upside. Again, it's hard to be more specific. The momentum indicator, the yellow line over here, is telling us, hey, look for the setups. And that's where the trigger's coming from, right? So now I'm going to go over a little bit further to the right. Okay, so you'll notice again, we come down, right? This is at 12:04. I'm going to erase the line so it doesn't get to be too much. I have not busted yet supernova. This bar closes back in. Our yellow line is still in play. We haven't busted the low of the supernova. Entry, specific entry, right, is 11,809. Stop is 20 points. And, wow, hold on. Is that right? That's a long bar. Let's make sure that's right. 10. That is the biggest bar I think I've ever seen, to 72. So the entry would have been Oh, I see what I'm doing. I'm blind. It's correct. 11,890 to 11,872. You put a point underneath. Just call it 20 points, right? There's the pink bar with the triangle up. There's again your lift. Your entry is again right at 90, and you go at least to 18. Oh, there you go. You went all the way up to 41. So just in that small rift of time, I know Bill for a fact caught that one in the room, right? Just in that small period of time, I mean, that is a picture perfect display of how our process A doesn't rely on levels, relies on price action. B, we have the indicator that tells us momentum's going to the upside. And then if you look over here, we, I was looking for this trade at the end of the day. I was super frustrated. I said I was looking for the long, and it got right to 1449, and I was like, it's too late in the day for me to take the trade. Again, this is this is a double divergence trap back into this bar right here. The orange bar had divergence on it. Excuse me, it was single divergence, guys, not double divergence. The orange bar, there's delta divergence on that bar, closes back in, and this face rip for 70 to 45. That's almost $800 a contract. Excuse me, almost $1,800 a contract. I stand corrected. So it was a big, big rip. That's the day in a nutshell, right? So just to show you this doesn't work magically or it just works today, I want to go back to Thursday of last week or Wednesday of last week when we turned. So this was when we were trend down, I think, into the middle of the day. So here we go. This is our trend down. So I'm going to show you the first place that we would have triggered long would have been from a momentum indicator standpoint, the TMP waves. And that would have been, I'm looking, this part I have to do manually. Right here. That's over here on the larger time frame, and on the smaller time frame, it would have been a few minutes earlier. Right. Let's see. No. Yes. Right there. Color red. Oh, it's at the exact same time. That's why it's not carrying over. So that's fine. Exact same time. Okay. So then if you look at that and we push it out, now the question would be, what would be our first entry? Right. So again, we have pink bar with an orange triangle underneath, an apex trap. This would have given you a potential head and shoulders trap right over here. So we're just going to go to the right. Here's your first divergence bar, and if it had been a trap, it'd have been great. You can take that divergence bar all by itself. It usually lifts once the momentum's there. Again, this wasn't a huge lift. Again, this is trend day down, right? But I want to show you the 2 points. That's point one. Okay, so remember, once this goes supernova, guys, and again, if I can't tell you what all the trades are, going step by step, that's just something you have to learn when you're in the room. Again, what we're looking for on the trap, guys, is a double divergence over here, or at least a single divergence. We don't get it, right? And then this is the orthodox close underneath that tells us it's falling apart. So there was only one entry in here, and it was an aggressive entry because it didn't provide an apex trap. It was just a close back in, and it gave a small lift, right? So that was the closest thing. Otherwise, there were no triggers through here, right? So then we do another roll down. And as we roll down, Wednesday was the day we closed the flow of the day. So now I'm going to go into Thursday, right? So if you look at coming into Thursday morning, we'll do this step by step. Okay, first, so I want to show you pre-market at 7:30, right? The first place that told us we'd gained momentum was right here. That's a higher time frame flip, and it told us right here. I think it's the exact same time. It was the exact same time on both charts. Didn't matter if whether it was smaller or bigger. So From here, right, remember your entries are the first pink bar with a triangle up. I gave a lift. And then you don't get, and again, we normally wouldn't be trading at 7:30, and then we don't get another lift until the market opens. So the market opens on Central Time for me at 8:30. So I'm going to mark that off. Right, and now I'm looking for my first indication that we can lift, and that would come from, actually it would have been right here. Now what I would have said in the room at this point, if I had gotten this, was that I expect the market to rotate higher from there, right? So what am I looking for there? Pink bar with a triangle on it, an apex trap, or a divergence bar, of which I get none. So there's no stop here. There's no trade that I took. It just rolled, right? So then we roll over, and you can see we're pretty much in free fall. So there's no way. Let's see if I get an entry at the smaller time frame. 21, 52, 26, 30, 16. Nope, not here. Let's see if I get it over here. So, nope. Let's see if I get it over here. Nope. Nope. I would get it right here. So I would say 38, right there, I would say. So my first potential entry on this, when I look to the right, so remember this has gone supernova now with this close over here. The trigger itself is a close of supernova. So this trade gets busted. And remember, we already know the potential for the setup, right? Which is, so if you're trapping here, you need at least a single orange bar. You don't get it, right? And if you're, you could have taken the triangle with the pink bar up. It did lift, but my guess is most people in the room would have been stopped on it. It didn't lift enough, and that's fine. We're not trying to avoid all stops, right? Then it obviously comes back down. Orthodox close underneath, so now we're starting the cycle over again. That momentum shift that we have is now gone, right? And we are looking for our next potential lift. So we get, I have to look at the numbers below, 35, 15, 16, 65, 14, no. And I want to make sure it didn't trigger on the smaller, 12, 14, 21, 12, 14, 21. It did not, right? So then we're coming over here towards New York launch, okay? And now at New York launch on our smaller time frame, we trigger a momentum indication right here. Okay, so all this is telling me is now I have the momentum in my favor, right? So if you'll look, right, we get a divergent bar. So you really want a rotation back down, and you got to remember your stop is an orthodox close underneath this bar now because it has gone supernova, right? So if you took this orange bar, this did stop, even though it lifted. Almost no one in the room would have exited that trade, right? This pink bar is the first pink bar off the bottom channel, and it's an apex trap. I'm going to take that almost immediately, right? That pink bar, I am definitely long. Whether I got stopped here or not, I'm long that pink bar. And you'll see within this almost immediately. So someone asked, how do I know exactly where to enter? So I always don't know with that every time, every trade I take will win, but I have a high degree of certainty that the majority of my trades, and if you're confused about all this, just make it real simple. Apex trap, right? That's the core basis to go back to on all our trades. And then as you move to the right, you will see that we have, I'm trying to look, triangle with pink bar up. Of course, you would have been in on the first pink bar anyways. Had this stopped out, it'd have been a great entry. It didn't. And you're still in supernova condition here. So this is late. This is 4163. This is triggered again. This triggers again, which tells me I expect the next rotation down to get bought. Did that trap? Because that would have been perfect. Okay, so see the orange bar didn't lift. Let's see here. Let me make it really big so everyone can see it. This bar gets stopped out right here. Again, huge momentum lift. Huge momentum lift to the upside. Again, if you look at the size of the win on that trade, that's roughly 11,405 to 11,453. Massive P&L. Same setups in ES, right? And then you got to remember, see this when we close. This is now gone supernova again. So this apex trap realistically in the last hour stopped you if you took it, which is fine. It lifted, but it didn't go, right? You would have been looking for continuation. You got paid here. If you took this, you got stopped. There was nothing special about that other than being a regular apex trap. And then if you look down here, there was just nothing until the close. This all happened after the close on the lift, right? So that gives 2 days. Someone on Twitter asked me whether we can get pinpoint accurate entries. We can, right? So we will have more momentum trades tomorrow. That's just how it works. Market's down nicely tonight, and it's been a while since I put out a video, so I thought it was more than overdue. So there you go, guys. If you'd like to ask for a trial to the room, we have a maximum right now of 3 additional spaces in the room. That's all I'm going to allow. It takes me a couple of weeks to get everyone up and running and on the same page. It takes a lot of work. It's not easy because you're learning a new language, but the opportunity is vast. So you can email me at tradeandperform, TRADE, the letter N, PERFORM @gmail.com, or hit me up on Twitter and I'll make arrangements for you. 3 spaces, that's it, guys. So anyways, have a great day, and we will talk to you later.